so young. I don't know what happened in those years. And then the last picture, okay, as we all know, I was a school teacher. I don't know about Bangladesh, but in America, we don't pay teachers really good salary. So I couldn't afford a haircut, so I just let my hair grow. And so, you know, how did I become an astronaut? We talked a little bit about the Apollo missions going on, and my grandfather that you see there did not have a college education, never went to school, but he was always very, very interested in science. I think he wanted me to stand here for a second. So hopefully I'm in the right spot. Somebody told me to do that. So he inspired me to go to space, but I made a lot of bad choices in my life. At least at the time, people told me they were very, very bad choices. I loved metal shop. And in the United States, we have in high school certain elective classes that you could take. And people always tell you, don't just do one thing, try a bunch of different things, be well-rounded. And I'm like, no, I really like metal shop. So every year I took metal shop and people didn't like it. I didn't want to go to college. When I got done with school, I just wanted to go and make money, right? Because money's great. Yeah, money's great. But you know what's better than money? An education. Because the education is going to get you more money. And so I didn't want to go to college. And my dad made a deal and said, you go for 1 year, and then if you don't like it, you can do whatever you want. So I was lucky to have my parents pushing me, showing me the value of an education. I joined the military. No mother likes to see their child join the military, so that was very disappointing. I was a Peace Corps volunteer. And I did that after I was working as a geologist. Do you know what it means when you're a volunteer? You're volunteers. What happens when you're a volunteer? You don't get paid. You don't get paid. My dad is, why did I leave Puerto Rico? Why did I pay for an education? You finally have a job and you're going to quit to work for no money. Terrible decision in my life. I moved after that. I went to the Bahamas and I lived on this really, really small island, and I was managing that island. And again, people are like, what are you doing? Part of it is I don't like people. So that island was great. It was a great experience, but people thought that was terrible. And then I made the worst decision anybody could ever make, and that's become a school teacher. Because people don't respect the profession many times. Again, the salary's not great, so people are like, what are you doing with your life? Before I go to the next slide, though, I do want to take this opportunity for all of us to give a round of applause to all of the teachers that are here. I would not be an astronaut if it were not for my teachers, and they are developing you into what you are becoming. So teachers, you are the best. But these were a lot of bad decisions that people in my family and my friends were going, why are you making all of these terrible choices? So, how did I become this handsome-looking astronaut? I know. Wait until you get to my age. So, how did I become an astronaut? People go, hey, why do you think they selected you to be an astronaut? When I did my interview, it was a 1-hour interview, and we probably spent 30 minutes of that talking about what I did in my metal shop in high school. Because if you're going to go to space, if you're going to go to the space station, we talked about it, you have to be able to fix things. So you can be the smartest person out there, but if you don't know what a wrench is, what a screwdriver is, you're not going to do too well in space. So that really helped me out. We talked about my military experience. It shows that I know how to work as part of a team. With the Peace Corps, when I was a volunteer, not getting paid, it was working in another country. It was international cooperation. Where was I living? The International Space Station. So it showed that I knew how to work with other countries. Working in the Bahamas was very, very similar to living in space. All your supplies have to come in. You're living with a very small group of people. So it really set me up for being successful in space. And then being a school teacher, okay? Teachers all know this. We all plan, right? We have our lesson plans. Everything is great. We're going to talk about this. And then what happens? You, all of you, come into the classroom and you mess it all up because you ask a question the professor wasn't thinking about. You break something over here in the robotic lab. I don't know, students do crazy things, okay? And as a teacher, you have to know how you go from a perfect plan to chaos and how you adapt. And that's what we have to do as astronauts as well. We can't plan for everything, and so you have to know how to adapt. So, the point of the story is not to make mistakes, okay? We're all going to make mistakes, and you're going to learn from those mistakes. But all of those choices that I made, I don't know that I knew it at the time, but every single one of those, they were a challenge for me. I was learning new things. So whatever you choose to do, just make sure you are growing. Make sure you are pushing your brain and your body places that might be a little bit uncomfortable, because that is how you grow and that is how you learn. So that's kind of how I became an astronaut. And I think, the advice I have for all of you is, continue with your education. You have an amazing facility right here. You have an amazing opportunity, so please take advantage of it. I've heard about some of the programs. It is super impressive. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. If they say they don't, they're lying to you. And so it's okay to make mistakes if you learn from them. So your future is very, very bright. It has been, people are saying that I'm inspiring you, but you all have inspired me today with your questions, your enthusiasm. My life will never be the same because of this experience today. So I thank you for all of that. And I don't know if we have any final words, but before I get off the stage, I'm just going to hit play on a video so you guys can see space one more time before I leave. Time?